celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation. It's been too long, we've got to unite now. Time and space can't keep us apart right now. Unity, yes, you better know. It's the only way to go. We stay apart, then we'll have to fall. Count on you, count on one and all. It's not for you, not for me, it's not for we. It's not for you, not for me, it's not for we. Love and respect one another. Fellow man, that is your brother, yeah. Share the love.
In 2012, Hattieville Village in the Belize District celebrated its 50th anniversary. Our Belize Watch team was on hand for the celebrations. In this edition of Belize Watch Revisited, we look back at the show which first aired in March 2012. We will have that for you after this break to hear from our partners, Ministry of Blue Economy, the Bari, and Minister Kevin Bernard.
And trying to survive each day. You must enjoy the fruits of your labor. And share them with your neighbor. Extend a hand, we've got to move on. Today is here, yesterday is gone. This not for you, not for me, it's not for we.
In Belize, the blue economy plays a crucial role in driving sustainable economic development and marine conservation.
The blue economy now looks at the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, to improve livelihoods, and to ensure that jobs are created while we ensure that the health of the ocean and the ocean ecosystem is preserved. How does this really differ from our traditional sectors is that the blue economy approach now integrates a multi-sectoral approach, and the past traditional sectors focused on sector-specific development.
The Blue Economy Unit plays a crucial role in driving Belize's transition to a more sustainable and resilient coastal economy. The Blue Economy Unit aims to mitigate the effects of climate change on livelihoods and promote resilience.
The Blue Economy works with coastal communities to mitigate the effects of climate change on the marine environment and their livelihoods through various strategies and initiatives. I can speak specifically of the FAO implemented project that the ministry is currently working on, and that's entitled Enhancing Adaptation Planning and Increasing Climate Resilience in the Coastal Zone and Fisheries Sector. Through that project, we have emphasized community engagement, participation, and social cohesion in climate change adaptation and resilience efforts.
The concept of the blue economy is closely aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as it contributes to several key goals and targets.
It promotes SDG 16, which is peace and justice and strong institutions. The blue economy really promotes inclusive and participatory governance in coastal resource management. It encourages community involvement, engagement with local stakeholders, and the establishment of real, transparent, and accountable institutions, which leads to fostering strong governance.
Let Debari be your store of choice. When you're looking for the latest in electronics and accessories, be sure to visit us. At Debari, we have a wide assortment of household items to choose from. Dress in style. We have clothing for the entire family and so much more. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari. Buy more, pay less.
Progress blooms in every corner of Orange Walk East, where the dreams of our people are taking root and flourishing under the dedicated leadership of the Honorable Area Representative. Join us on a journey through the heart of development and community transformation. Imagine a place you can call home. Over 500 residential lots are currently being surveyed, paving the path for first-time landowners to build their futures in our thriving constituency. Connectivity is key to our growth. Witness the ongoing paving of the Chan Pine Ridge Road, a testament to our commitment to development and ease of access for all our residents. Soon, the journey on this road will be seamless. Anticipation is in the air for San Jose Palmar Village, as two main roads are set to transform into paved pathways, enhancing transportation and community life. Our dedication to improvement is unwavering, with continuous upgrades transforming our streets into modern avenues of pride for all our villages. The spirit of the East is invigorated with continuous sporting activities, fostering camaraderie and healthy lifestyles across our vibrant constituency. Accessibility to essential resources is a right, not a privilege. The new water tower in Tower Hill Village stands tall as a beacon of our commitment to this belief. Closer to home, essential services are now within reach, thanks to the Amnesty and Vital Statistics Clinic brought directly to the residents of the East. Community joy blossoms at the ongoing Ramon Cervantes Recreational Park project, where leisure and laughter unite us. Orange Walk East, under the stewardship of your Honorable Area Representative, is a constituency reborn. Together, we are building a legacy of prosperity, community, and hope. Join us as we continue to strive for excellence and bring dreams to life.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one.
Okay, I'm in Hattieville. Today is Hattieville Day. They're celebrating 50 years of Hattieville. And Mrs. Rita Coleman was one of the original inhabitants of Hattieville, one of the people that moved after Hurricane Hattie. Ms. Coleman, nice meeting you again, because I'm sure I met you sometime before when on a previous visit to Hattieville. But we never did talk about the history of Hattieville the last time when you and I got together, right? So maybe now we could look at the history of Hattieville, and maybe now you could tell me, first of all, how did you spend Hurricane Hattie? Where were you, and what memories do you have of Hurricane Hattie 50 years ago?
Well, my memories of Hurricane wasn't a pleasant one, because the hurricane caught us on the road. My father was taking us to Hattieville, and the trees were already across the road, and he was trying to turn back in his vehicle, and it went into a ditch. So we was stuck there, the whole family, my mother, my father, myself, and my smaller brother. And we were stuck there, and then by this time it was raining a lot and the wind was blowing. And I started crying. I told my mother, let's stay in the vehicle. And she said, no, we have to get out of here. We had one hurricane lantern, and we started walking. And we were going through bushes, and we walked. I had my smaller brother in my hand, and my mother was holding my father because he was intoxicated, I should say, yes. And so we were going, and we walked about 2 miles until we got to, in that case it was Cofius.
I know where the courtness live.
Yes, where the And we got there, and we started, as soon as we got by the gate, the lantern out. And we started shouting, and so the people in the house heard us, and they came and they rescued us. And as soon as we got in there, then it really started indeed.
So you
And
spent,
that is where we
the
spent.
hurricane and the Hocus and
Yes.
okay, that's a long mile, seven.
Yes.
Going
And,
towards
yeah,
Ladybird.
Ladybird, yes.
Somewhere around there.
Wasn't a nice experience at all.
How high did the water come in that area?
Well, it came very high because we were on the first floor. It came way up to the first floor, just below the flooring of the first floor. The water was very high.
What I remember of that night is I was 11 years old. I don't know how old were you at the time, because then you might end up to give her a age. So we were more or less the same.
I had just started high school.
Okay. Yeah. So I had just started.
Yes, around the same age.
I remember the hurricane, but I remember the waves beating on the side of the house and the wind howling, and it was like being in a boat in the middle of a storm, because the house would shake, and whenever the waves would lash it. You remember
Yes,
that?
I remember that, and they were rescuing people because they had people that were in the lower flat, and they had to bring them up, and they were rescuing people and bringing them upstairs, from the water. A number of people were there at that house at the time. I could remember.
What happened after the storm, as far as your family was concerned?
Well, after the storm, we had to wait a while, and then from there we saw a lot of vehicles coming past, going in the city, right?
That was after the water
had gone down, yes. And so, my father said, let's go down to the city, and it took us a while because they had to be clearing the road, trees and everything. And when we got by where the vehicle was, I said, thank God we didn't stay in that vehicle, because I wouldn't have been here today.
Yeah.
As the water covered, it was filled with mud.
Did you lose any members of your family?
No, thank God, no member. All of us.
All your family was safe?
Yes, all my family was safe. But when we got into the city now, it was a mess. I could remember my father said, well, let's go and see if we can locate our home, right? We were living in down at Yabra at that time, Yabra, close to the Shell station from that area. We could even cross the swing bridge. Some people told us, Miss, you're wasting your time because you can't even cross the bridge.
Out of place.
So we had to try and find somewhere to stay for the night. And I could remember we went up to Hattieville building, and we had a little space. We had take turns sleeping, little space there for the four of us to stay. And then the following day, we were able to cross. And when we walked down, we reached as far as way down Albert Street to the end there where the statue is, Ramos statue. And when we looked down towards the area, nothing but just trees without leaves. Everything was brown. Nothing at all. No houses, no nothing. And I could remember my mother started to cry because everything was wiped out. We had the whole area. So we had nowhere to go. Luckily, my father had a house that he was renting. And so we went there, and we were able to clear out a small spot to stay for the time being.
What you did for eating and so on?
Well, we had to go and get food just like others, wait in line for ration. And my father used to go out and hustle what he could hustle from. There were a lot of looting and things going on. Well, what he could hustle from those guys, and he would bring home. But most of our food was going and waiting in line to get ration, and then we would go take them home, and my mother cooked for us.
The move to Hattieville, how did that come about? And maybe you can tell me a bit about how the family managed to move up to Hattieville.
Okay, we didn't really come up at the first set. In November, December. We stayed in town during that time. We were staying at the home, as I said. And,
I was going to high school at the time, but I couldn't go back to high school because I had nothing. And so my father said, maybe I could try and get a job for you, you know. And well, I love teaching from very young. That was my aim, to become a teacher. And so he went and he asked for a job, went to the Catholic mission and asked for a job for me because he heard that they were opening a school in Hattieville. So, and they needed teachers. And so he went there and he asked for a job for me. And I was lucky because he knew friends at priests there. And I was lucky to get a job as a pupil teacher. And they said they were going to send me to Hattieville. And they said that if I want, since we have no home, we could occupy one of the teachers.
January 62, but you were very young at the time because you tell me you were 12 years old. You had been about 13 or so when you moved up here to Hattieville.
I was still 12, going up, about 12, going on 13 years. So we moved up, and as a pupil teacher, I worked with.
Even at that young age, you were a pupil teacher?
Yes, we had, I would say it was a calling because it is something that I loved, and I adapted quickly to it. I had mentors, teachers that I taught with, and I took my first PT, and I had passed it, and I stayed in the teaching profession like about a year, and I was fortunate to go back to high school to finish my education.
No, we know that the former Hattieville was built 50 years ago, immediately after Hurricane Hattie. Mr. Price, the then premier, because we were not an independent country, had this vision to move the people, a bit, the workers particularly, to higher ground, so that they could go back in and reconstruct the city. I think is that the way it started?
Yes, that is the way it started. It was a temporary
temporary, it could have been temporary.
Temporary. Yes, and the people, they went up there and he found this area 15 miles from the city, and then they decided that they would build some barracks because he thought then that it would have been temporary shelter for these people, that had no homes. And so he moved as soon as the first barrack was finished, workers that worked in the area and had no home in Belize City moved up in the area, yes.
It was a workers' camp, basically.
It started as a
clean up operations after Hurricane Hattie.
Yes,
and you decided to stay. Many people decided to stay.
Yes,
right?
So as soon as the building was finished, more people moved in, and as they went along, and the building, they went from building A to building N.
Wow.
So we had a number of people, and people moved in, came up, and as soon as they would go back to Belize City, they moved back. But as soon as people moved out, somebody else came in.
So the village still has a life today. 50 years later, it has a life of its own. Now, I see you have a model here.
Yes.
This is reconstructed from your memory?
Yes, not only myself, a few of us, right? Few of us. From that time, we put it together from our memory.
Would you like to walk me through all of this? I noticed you start here. This is the road this is going west.
We're coming from Belize City.
So you come from Belize City, that side, Belize City, and so you're going to San Ignace, going west, going west. So those folks who are looking at people get their bearing, Belize City would be over there. My hand is pointing. Belize City would be over there, like where that brick is. That's the road to Belize City. And then coming up the road here would be going towards the west, towards San Ignacio. That's east-west. All right. Now, walk me through this. The lighthouse is still
yes. First building was a building where the
generator was?
This was the generator for electricity, then we had the water.
And the water supply.
This is the building.
The first building that was built.
The first building, but this building was built to accommodate I would say the engineers and that were up here operating at that time. they could have a place to rest. But the one that the people they occupied after this one was this building, the B building.
The building. So this was where people came to live.
Yes.
What
as
were
soon
these?
as that was
And
finished.
these, what were these?
The kitchens between so many buildings, they had a kitchen. This was
Okay.
an outdoor kitchen with a fire hearth.
So all you had in here was a bedroom.
Yes, they had it was 60 rooms. 60 rooms in all.
Yeah.
30 on one side and 30 on the next. They
Yeah,
were
in
divided.
one building?
Yes.
So there were 60 rooms like in this building here?
Yes.
30 on one side, 30 on the other side.
Yes. And they were divided into, it depends. If it's a large family, they get 2 rooms, you would say.
Okay.
So they get back and front. Smaller family would only get one half.
And then the kitchen would be
kitchen.
here. This would be the kitchen, and this would be a shed.
This was this one was a shop.
A shop. And now would that be?
These were toilets.
These were the toilets here.
The toilets.
Okay, so there was this set here would serve this building here, these buildings
These buildings, the
here,
people from
the people here and here. Okay, I see. That would be their kitchen, and what have you. Then the police station was built. So this is where the present police station is?
No, the police station is moved. No. Now this is what we call the roundabout. Right there, where we have the roundabout, when you're coming up to Hattieville, you have the roundabout, you're coming and then you come around, where's the a patch.
Yeah, where the Boom Road, because this would be Boom Road here. So this is the roundabout here.
First it was like this. Right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Police station there.
So actually Hattieville really drifted back from where that roundabout is back towards Belize City. It was more back towards Belize City as against coming towards the west, right? So really it's on the roundabout. And so this is the hospital here, would be the present...
The hospital, that is where we have the old folks home now.
Old folks home would be the hospital, right?
That was where the hospital was. The same building. They do a little repair, but that's the same building that is there right now.
Same building, yeah. That is the old folks home. I am right in front of the roundabout.
Right in front.
Which is now this. So
That building over there, that's the Mennonite church.
the church. That building is still there, right? No, or a similar building.
A little part of it is there, not much. Some of it was broken down. The church, but they had a church. This one is the church, and that was their home, their house. Police station, yes.
What was the roundabout?
And then here we have the school. The school was on our building.
How
We
many
had two schools. We had one by the Anglican and one by the Catholic. St. Mark's was an Anglican and St. Jude a Catholic. But they were on the same building.
So this was school and church. No, school.
School,
sorry. School. So this was... These were shops here. And these were residences. So the same model will apply for all of these, right? So you have a set of long barracks, 60 families, 60 rooms in each long barrack, which means that you could accommodate quite a lot of people. They had the kitchen in the middle, the outdoor kitchen, the bathhouse, and a little shop or something.
That one more mainly. You had some of these, I think one or two of them, I can't quite remember, was where the workers used to, they worked from, they operated from. The engineers, they operated from.
So from here now, they would go down to Belize City to do their work and come up in the evening. So at any given time, you had hundreds of people living here at the time as temporary shelters. And
when we first moved up, we had a kitchen that provided meal free meals for the people. Free meals, when the people first moved up.
And in 1962, when you came, in which building you used to be?
I taught at St. Jude, and I used to live
Where would you be living?
I live right there in the building. The first,
because you were a teacher.
Yes,
so
I had teachers. St. Jude. Where is it? There.
Interesting. I think this is a whole eye-opener, really, to see how Hattieville actually. But there are none of these buildings anymore. I don't see any except for the what was the hospital, which is.
And one building that is still the police house, the barrack, police barrack, that was there. They had moved that and they brought it over here. So if you look across there, the hurricane had the hurricane had dropped it.
That's one of the original buildings. But they put it on stilts, right? They put it on post. It was on post.
It was on post,
And then in Richard it came down.
It came down.
Yeah, Hurricane Richard brought it down.
Yes.
So,
there were a few other buildings could have been that was here, but we don't have it up there because of space. But this is pretty much more or less how it looks.
The beginning of Hattieville. Now, Hattieville, of course, looks much different today than this. Actually, this seems very organized and well laid out.
Oh, yes. And people, although you had people living so close to each other, you find out that people, they were happy, they got along with each other, and, it was, I would say, as a big family. Everybody lived as one big family.
So around what time did you see a decline in people moving out and these buildings being lost, maybe perhaps one by one?
No, at that point, no, I wouldn't be able to relate that part because it was some years after. I stayed here for about 5 years when I went to school, and when I was in about third form, my mother moved into the start I could go to school.
So for those 5 years, it pretty much looked the same. Pretty much the same for those 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it was well packed. Everybody, all the rooms I should say were occupied.
All rooms.
Yes, and people they just go in, Belize City to work wherever they work, and come back in the evening. Mm. And the children go to school, the high school children catch the bus, the truck or the bus or whatever, and they go into high school and come back in the evening. We had all accommodation. We had our police station, we had the hospital. The hospital open 24 hours. A lot of children were born there. Whenever you were sick, you could go to the hospital. It had beds and everything. Oh, yeah. Beds, yes, well-equipped hospital.
So a lot of children were born in that hospital then?
A lot of children. You had the first nurse was Nurse Bradley, late Nurse Bradley.
Yes, Nurse Dorothy Bradley, yes.
Yes.
I remember her very well.
I had a brother that was born in that hospital.
Yeah, one of your brothers born in that
hospital? Yes. We had our electricity, we had water. Mr. Price made sure that the people were comfortable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think this area was selected because it's the first piece of high ground coming out of Belize City. It's the first piece of high ground that would not flood easily in case you had another flooding. It's a bit higher, much higher than Belize City.
Much higher
than Belize City. So that's why the area was selected as a camp. Temporary camp,
a temporary camp.
To ease the burden in Belize City.
Little people, they loved the area, and they decided that, well, we could turn the area into a village, and they formed village council, and they lobbied for betterment and for their own lots, and the people, they work together.
How many people live in today's Hattieville?
Yeah, we have, the population has grown over 3,000 people, I would say, because it has spread out, right? The area has spread out now up to by 17, 18.
Yeah.
We have the village has spread out.
So Hattieville is here to stay. 50 years later, it's here to stay, you would say,
yes,
right?
so yes.
So, notice you have other stuff here that you're showing off as well.
This man is a woman. Eric, he was the engineer at the time. And others showing, I would say, plotting out the area now where they would put different things. You see, if you look here, and then boom, and they show the boom road. They were like plotting out. Then we have Bunting Fordy. He was an inspector that came up and made sure that law and order was kept. Mr. Price.
The Price is right there. And then who is this guy here?
These are because the village was built with funds from the British, I would say, no, so I would believe
colonial officials, no? Plotting out the area. Right? And I see what you have. And then of course you have a major picture here of Mr. Price as the person who founded Hattieville.
Founded Hattieville, right? We can't forget him. He was one that sort of, sometimes I put it as spoiled people in Hattieville.
Well, you had electricity, water, everything.
Everything. And Hattieville was very dear to him. He always, whenever he passed through Hattieville, he would always stop to find out how the people are doing.
Of communication. Okay. And here the first telephone was located in the home of another prominent citizen of the village, Mrs. Idolis Simpson. Miss Idolis Simpson was made a senator by Mr. Price.
Yes.
Right, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And the telephone was by her house. They had two telephones. One was by her house, and the police station had one. Her house was the public telephone.
Okay, and you are now in charge of the system, it says here. Mrs. Coleman.
That's my daughter-in-law.
And okay, the means of communication that was done by through post office and telephone. The first post office house is one of the most prominent business places owned by Mr. Hamilton. You receive mails and write the names of the individuals for whom the mails on a blackboard outside the store. So he would write
the names, and then you go and you check now to see if any mail is there for you, yes. And then you go and get your mail.
And then they have the schools here. Are these schools still the name? They still operate on the same name, St. Mark and St. Jude?
They were emerged, and we have amalgamated, and we have one school, the government school. No. And I think that was in the year 1970.
Yes, from the Hattieville Government School. 3 large buildings with a total of 10 classrooms, principal's office, and everything, right? And the principal, Mrs. Rita Coleman, and the vice principal, Miss Urania Elak Samuel. And you had past teachers like Father Richards, Lloyd Taylor, the Burgess, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Flowers, and Mrs. Zool. Wow. You have your history right here. And then how Hattieville was named. Okay, and this is the victims moving in from Belize, from the city, right?
Tables and bundles and whatnot, everybody. And then they're bringing in their stuff.
The house is being constructed at the time. Let's see if we can look at what you have here. Okay, Hurricane Hattie struck Belize on the early morning of October 31, 1961, with sustained winds of 165 miles per hour, gusts up to 200 miles per hour, and tidal waves of 15 feet. Extensive damage was done to 75% of all homes, houses, and businesses. Thousands of people were homeless and had to stay in shelters. the late father of the nation, Right Honorable George Cadle Price, found an area 15 miles away from the city, which was in a mess. There he built what was to be temporary homes to house those who had nowhere to go. On November 22nd, 1961, families of some of the workers moved into the first barracks. That was built in the area now called Hattieville. 14 barracks were built in the area, lettering from A to N, by contractors Mr. Raymond Izagiri, Mr. Basil Smith, and Mr. Bonnie Pantin. Oh, Mr. Bonnie Pantin, I'm part of this. Yes, man, I have to talk to Mr. Bonnie. Right? As soon as a barrack was livable, families moved in. The price made sure that the people were comfortable as he provided all the key necessities: food, electricity, water, health services, security, and transportation and education. And this is now New Hattieville here, right? Hattieville, this is your community center. Then an old long barrack.
Yes. Okay. Then the government school, the now government school, the now police station, and
the old Hattieville police station.
That was burnt down. And so they decided to build the new one in the field.
Golden Haven at West Home.
Then Golden Haven, that's the building that is still there, that was the hospital at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then the police, the old Hattieville police station, that is what it looked like when it was over there.
That's the one that was on the stilts at Hurricane Richard. It was moved from there and brought here.
Over here and
Hurricane Richard brought it down. Right? Wow, interesting. Beautiful view of Hattieville, the old Hattieville. You have good memory, Ms. Pullman, because this is what Hattieville used to look like in days past. And we have to remember, people might look at the roads and say they were paved roads. There were no paved roads at that time.
There were no paved roads at all.
You know, young folks, it's hard for them to imagine that the roads were not paved. So even coming from Belize City to Hattieville was like an adventure.
Oh, yes.
In those days, on a single lane road, unpaved road.
They had to catch truck to go into Belize City, the workers' truck. And then from there we had people like Mr. Safal and others that had a bus, and then we moved the bus.
We will continue or look back at our March 2012 visit to Hattieville Village after this break to hear from our partners, Ministry of Blue Economy, the Barry, and Minister Kevin Bernard.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
In Belize, the blue economy plays a crucial role in driving sustainable economic development and marine conservation.
The blue economy now looks at the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, to improve livelihoods, and to ensure that jobs are created while we ensure that the health of the ocean and the ocean ecosystem is preserved. How does this really differ from our traditional sectors is that the blue economy approach now integrates a multi-sectoral approach, and the past traditional sectors focused on sector-specific development.
The Blue Economy Unit plays a crucial role in driving Belize's transition to a more sustainable and resilient coastal economy. The Blue Economy Unit aims to mitigate the effects of climate change on livelihoods and promote resilience.
The Blue Economy works with coastal communities to mitigate the effects of climate change on the marine environment and their livelihoods through various strategies and initiatives. I can speak specifically of the FAO implemented project that the ministry is currently working on, and that's entitled Enhancing Adaptation Planning and Increasing Climate Resilience in the Coastal Zone and Fisheries Sector. Through that project, we have emphasized community engagement, participation, and social cohesion in climate change adaptation and resilience efforts.
The concept of the blue economy is closely aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as it contributes to several key goals and targets.
It promotes SDG 16, which is peace and justice and strong institutions. The blue economy really promotes inclusive and participatory governance in coastal resource management. It encourages community involvement, engagement with local stakeholders, and the establishment of real, transparent, and accountable institutions, which leads to fostering strong governance.
Let Debari be your store of choice. When you're looking for the latest in electronics and accessories, be sure to visit us. At Debari, we have a wide assortment of household items to choose from. Dress in style. We have clothing for the entire family and so much more. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari. Buy more, pay less.
Progress blooms in every corner of Orange Walk East, where the dreams of our people are taking root and flourishing under the dedicated leadership of the Honorable Area Representative. Join us on a journey through the heart of development and community transformation. Imagine a place you can call home. Over 500 residential lots are currently being surveyed, paving the path for first-time landowners to build their futures in our thriving constituency. Connectivity is key to our growth. Witness the ongoing paving of the Chan Pine Ridge Road, a testament to our commitment to development and ease of access for all our residents. Soon, the journey on this road will be seamless. Anticipation is in the air for San Jose Palmar Village, as two main roads are set to transform into paved pathways, enhancing transportation and community life. Our dedication to improvement is unwavering, with continuous upgrades transforming our streets into modern avenues of pride for all our villages. The spirit of the East is invigorated with continuous sporting activities, fostering camaraderie and healthy lifestyles across our vibrant constituency. Accessibility to essential resources is a right, not a privilege. The new water tower in Tower Hill Village stands tall as a beacon of our commitment to this belief. Closer to home, essential services are now within reach, thanks to the Amnesty and Vital Statistics Clinic brought directly to the residents of the East. Community joy blossoms at the ongoing Ramon Cervantes Recreational Park project, where leisure and laughter unite us. Orange Walk East, under the stewardship of your Honorable Area Representative, is a constituency reborn. Together, we are building a legacy of prosperity, community, and hope. Join us as we continue to strive for excellence and bring dreams to life.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
And Mr. Bennett, you came here when, how old were you?
I just 11 September.
What were your experiences during Hurricane Hattieville? Can you remember?
I put me to go to Belize school. And they over the school 1 o'clock. But we don't have nobody to carry with home because we live by the Sheet Bridge right in front, the facility. And we live there and I see my mother. Come was one lady by the name of Miss Liz. They don't carry by the bridge and we see my mother come here and my two sisters. And so he said, we call with the car. Whether one come, but we don't know whether hurricane. I remember we spent the hurricane exactly in front of the Cheese Bridge house. There were one Chinese downstairs. And we spent our weather there time start. I hold my oldest brother, midday by start. I hold the weather there. And I remember when the water had come, and I said, well, we have to go. We got right side at the same house with the flowers, the whole still there too. And so we gone, and one of my sisters made the get wet. Lucky thing my brother made it there. He dropped his sweater, and it's 55 now. And so it was, and that ain't dark. We don't know where the hurricane. And the breeze, they blow, I remember we got up to the house and hurry shut up the door, man. We not fly up now. So man, they up there while late, one man by the name of Mr. Holiday, and so they hurry shut up the window. And the man, later we wake up, the water high across the house bottom. That's how I remember. And then my brother come from Corozal. No, my mom is pregnant. With my brother when he killed, because he had 50 right at the 29th of November. And I remember my mom is pregnant. And she got the baby, and I'm gonna 11 years old. And it gets dark, but my oldest brother made come to me, and I saw that they look to carry me home. I remember that. And we got a Corozal, and I spent the Christmas. But my father lived with me, and my papa called and said, yeah, I'm going to Hattieville, it's building 3 and 4, I remember that. But I got a school at Hattieville, St. Mark Anglican. Well, my whole life I spent at Hattieville. Whole life.
That's one of the fun memories you have growing up in Hattieville.
Not because we used to get those jokes there. Yeah. Tiger. He said they got kind of minister. Well, Kiki was a minister. He used to sing song. I used to chase with. We got jokes, man.
Good time growing up in Hattieville.
Good time. I remember they moved me. God, they are 50 years. When I 11. Kaba 1950.
No regrets at all.
Hattieville first, none.
Your family, make a family for yourself.
No, me there, single as usual. I'm married with the wedding. So, he guy, we are nice to see, can he have to go in here, originally. Then I'm the one, yeah, right there. I don't know, Malu, me never go to cook. Now, we got to kitchen. And he said that I would. No bed because no got no bed like oh got no that. We just got it Hattieville beginner some bed. Everybody got in bongo change. Well, we may still satisfied and how we will go on to say that. Not so much. And so we may feel like they learn if they cook, they learn if they lead, and make my life. I mean, so umaya ya ago. Saya migayo ang koyaw na yung anaya gewula na ya wamsi. Yeah.
True and true. All right. Well, you want to say anything to your fellow Hattievilleans?
Well, I was we enjoy with you today. We enjoy with you, man. Hattieville Day. Hattieville. I remember that Hattieville never want koya because in car we cattle no. You know, give we break.
Move up, huh?
They move up like that. You know, give we break. I mean, anytime you go away, me fret for Hattieville. You want to come back and I go away. I go away. I'm home to the 65 pounds. When I come back, I go 150. I fret for Hattieville. I want to come back. Hattieville Day. Weedy. Yeah.
Thanks for talking with me. Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Mr. John Jones. Tell me about your link with Hattieville.
When I come up here, the way up here was bad. Because then, you know, the days when I come up here, I put some of the shoes. And now we go to walk, go to dance, and that's how I go. And I just got about 2 months. And after I get after 2 months, I go on job in mile 26.
Where are you from there?
62.
At least 62. That's after Hattieville. How old are you in the morning?
27.
27. What are your memories of Hurricane Hattieville? What you said in the Hurricane?
I was in Belize. Yes.
What was the experience?
My experience was when the weather is low, that time they come just sleep. When the weather is low, I didn't only also in a kind post. Kind of high. And when I feel near me, where I will post it now. You will post it. Shake. So she take it with me and go across her and I turn corner back to the next one. When I get back to the next one, I tell the truth. I drop in water there, down there. Now they go to the picnic. All me and me, I just give them the taking the water and make them grab. And I feel the crack. And I saw bring them up. And I can't. But when I get upstairs, the breeze, the blow, I gone by the back and say, come down front. Because the breeze blow by the back door. And when I gone down front, I didn't want to enter time before they could have opened the door. When I get there, inside they jam. Jam. Load people. You know what we have to do? Take the bench and put it against the wall. When the breeze blow, the wall comes up. Take the bench and put it against the wall. Stay against it. Let it out. And finally, after the breeze ease up it, everybody set back the bench and upon the bench. Everybody now have to who could see by the bench, who can't see, go on and bench by the bench and then I bench, see by the door. Till the daylight, when I get up, the whole time Medina, cover with water. All I have to just take across at the church and look across. I say house covered on water. Zinc everybody on water.
So you didn't see him at the church like the service before?
Yes, I said in the church, the program in there.
All back to wild and things like that.
Yes, and well after they are done, they say finish. When they come out, they still come out in the water there. But the water may come out like the because the house may got about 3 steps. And I saw we wash them out, get back in and close them, we now take them and wash them out and hang, make them dry because everything is wet. Everything is wet right up. Well, that's all I could tell about.
Wow. But then Hattieville, what was it like growing up in Hattieville and living in Hattieville at the time?
Hattieville is a nice place to live, anyhow. Anyway, no matter when you go to town and ride the thing and you start with Hattieville cattle. But as far as I could see, I can't call it Hattieville cattle. And the majority of them start with Hattieville cattle.
Why do you call it Hattieville cattle?
Well, because it's in Hattieville. And so they say, we the cattle, we come up here. You see? I said, it's called cattle, Hattieville cattle. Well, you know the feeling. Because we up here, man, when you look, they say, man, you still have to come up here from there. After hurricane, they still come up here from shelter. When hurricane comes, they still come up here from shelter. We don't have no way, we go, we sit, we house up here.
Yeah, because Hattieville is high enough from the tide, right?
It's high, very high.
Well, that's why the site was selected because it was high from the first area where
select up here. And when the price is up here, then still won't move. And we never move. We are back at home. Yes, but we decided to stay. And so everybody stay up here till now.
So, and life at Hattieville coming up as a young man was pleasant, no?
It's pleasant. We can't, who does we have a name? They have to take on no and can't put him. because we live in Ethiopia. Because there's no stranger come up here from nowhere. Why? Nobody up here. None. Because they everybody can get family. Yes. Maybe sometimes we not talk to one another, but when we come from that, we look out one another still.
How you got to Hattieville, Mr. Trap?
Well, I get to Hattieville, I get in with she 1974.
So you came to Hattieville in 1974,
74.
But your wife has been here all her life, right?
Yeah. So when I get in with she, I take she with 5 children with enough for me.
Okay.
And then in Ghana, make 3 with her for me.
Okay.
3 boys.
Okay.
So I got 2 of the boys and with them, one of my champion in bicycle race.
Okay, what's his name again?
Paul Trapp.
Oh, Paul, okay.
Yeah, popular.
Okay.
He win all the first prize, take all the prize and thing.
And what has Hattieville meant to you? I mean, what does Hattieville mean to you? How you enjoy living in Hattieville?
Well, I don't find it bad, you know. I find it good. Because me that somebody I know go about. I don't have to ask she, the one who wears so and so name. You see? I keep myself to myself.
Okay.
But
you're living in a historic part of Hattieville, because all the long barracks and used to there, this area here, because the Golden Haven home is there, so that means the long barracks are all in here.
Long barracks me there to the back there. We
right
see this foundation here. Wow. Long barracks me there too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll get to meet your wife now, who received us very well.
Yeah.
And
Find the correct bug, but anyway.
Mrs. Strap, what your bugs up for me? Nice meeting you, Mrs. Strap. Yeah.
Same to you, Renee.
All right, and you live in a historic area of Hattieville, right?
Yes, from I was 11 years old.
So you came to Hattieville right after the hurricane?
Right after the hurricane, we was the 3 first settlers live at B building.
B building. From where we are standing right now, where was B building located?
Here was A.
Here where we are standing was A.
Yeah. Wait, not here. Wait.
Okay. Let's see where A was.
Come.
Uh-huh.
Right here was A building.
So A building was in here?
Yeah, this was A building where the minister so occupy. Then this part, half of this part here, was when we used to have dance, when we have curfew at Belize. At 10 o'clock, curfew starts, so they come open. So we used to have dance inside.
Okay.
Then the minister occupy, the whole of down so. When I used to have the bundles, and then they teach people to who want to sew. That was the nice and toilet.
Well, that septic tank there?
Yeah, that thing right there.
That was the toilet there?
Yeah, it is only the midnight.
And when you said in the night, you're talking about the contractors that were building the long barracks?
That was over there, right now. This was the midnight toilet there, right there.
Okay, so the remains are still there.
Yes, but this
is how the toilets look?
Yeah, this is how the other ones look.
So that would be a toilet.
That was the bath on the back there.
On the
that
bar?
was the bathroom, and then I was the seat.
These were the seats where you have the flowers.
Yes.
The flowers, but these were all toilet seats.
Yeah, that was for the back up. You want to come back up?
Well, that's road behind you too?
All of them family, no? That's my daughter's house and my son's house. That's my house. I have 8 children.
Okay. Yeah, your husband tell me you got 8 children.
Well, right from here, it started. It was 6 toilet here, 6 for B, 6 for C, right down till we get to H. Till we get to H building.
Okay.
All right. Then
No, so this area was abandoned around what time? Where they abandoned this whole area?
This is about 1980 so 1970 when everybody mostly went over the bridge.
So when you gone over the bridge, because they got new homes,
no,
and so they moved across the bridges against and moved out. family by family.
Family who want to move. But I never want to move. You can't be surprised. So wake up and work or build a nation. You're entitled to a land. You get your land up, you want to get it.
So you got your piece of land.
I get my piece of land to the front there. And then the 8th building now, that's where the home group, the woman groups, they used to make blocks from 5 until 8 at night. That's why somebody have their own house. Right by 8th building, we used to have martini, theater, everything. We got Papi Limbo and dance with. Everything we used to get in our village was beautiful. Then now, when you jump over the next side of the road, it was I building. That was St. Mark and St. Jude School used to there. Then afterward, all right, I get me. St. Mark and St. Jude. All right. Then the police station right now, right the roundabout is, right there the police station used to there. Then cross at the Golden Heaven House right there. That is where the hospital.
Hospital was there.
Yes. Then the first church that built in Hattieville, it is Turner's Faith. That built in 1963. Then the second church was Wesley Church, right where the building there right now. Right in front of that. Then to the behind it, they used to have about 4 or 5 big white house for the policeman. You call it the policeman where part and stay. You know.
Quarters, sleeping quarters.
Sleeping quarters. Yes. Then afterward, we then afford the Mennonites build the church and thing over next part of the street, right? And then they used to have them build a church there. Then every year the Mennonites used to give all the children in Hattieville bundles. Everybody get bundles, and then we used to get like patchwork. Up to now, I still have one patchwork sheet. For the Mennonites days was very good.
So they came in and actually assisted in reconstructing Belize City after Hurricane Hattie.
Yes,
the Mennonite community were very active, because I can remember even our house on Freetown Road, the Mennonites assisted in repairing our house on Freetown Road.
When we first come here, we have to walk from here to 13 miles to back a bucket of water on our head until when they put the reservoir there. Then the light was only from 6 till 10. When you hear like mistake, like go off 8 o'clock, and suddenly when you come on back, you hear one echo for you, woo! Because the light come on back. But any time it was very good. Then when Christmas they come now, then man start to celebrate for 2 weeks before Christmas. We got one man like near Balancang, Port Titi, Tallahassee, Kaki, a whole bagel. And when you hear then the corn and knock everybody do shake them do open your door, Christmas there. And then when they come to your house and eat out everything out your house. But then the days we make a good time in Hattieville. Then what I could tell you, we will have a good blinking chairman named Mr. Percival Jones. When you hear anything happen in Hattieville, one time one big fire made the traffical park, and he called out all the electors them for help out the fire. But no, then chairman they get then they look for hustle for themselves. They not help nobody, no kind of body they help. So I don't know the going with this country. I don't know the going. So
Yeah, but tell me, you must spend Hattie at Belize City, right?
Yes, I'm a save the city council. The city council right now. We right over there, and then to St. Mary's on the next side. Then for we building done with the crack already. We the first time say all man downstairs, and then all over. But after when the water going to come high, all the man they may have to come upstairs. And after we move and we went to Wesley School, and from the Wesley Church we used to stay. And then from there we are the first street that come up here. Then we have the cook house. We have the cook house. We're part of the Somerville residences right now. That is where the Salvation Army used to cook for everybody. Then the head cook was Miss Nicholas. My lady say she no cuss. She said she not Nika, all kind of things. She said, but she no cuss. But she was the head cook. Then right upon Mr. Glenn Construction right now, that was Mr. T.B. Paul place. Right there, that are the cook. They used to cook for all the workers. Monday. Then after he have a club there. Then the first club we know about is Mr. Mackey over the street, right? Then the second club was Mr. T.B. Plow. But then afterwards, when the hospital broke up, they put sanatorium there. They don't put nothing good at Hattieville. We don't put nothing the low, nothing good at Hattieville and put to Hattieville. But in an days time was very. Oh, I never forgot. 1972, 73, on that. Nicholas Pallard.
He was here, yeah.
Yeah, he was live kasi BC live on D building. Down to the Bronx back move. And then after he couldn't find a little girl. So then tell her he got another tell he dropped my tell, and that man natural dive in all those stool, dive in if it's if you find the legal boy for so my hala. So the legal look around the building, and then afterward I know that it was Nelly Jong did that San Pedro. Nelly Jong, I remember, yeah, I think it was 79, 80, so that Nelly Jong did. Yes, that's what I know about Hattieville. Hattieville me good. Very, very good.
You stay all your life, right?
All my life, and I have 8 children and 24 grandchildren and 2 great-grand.
My goodness.
Everybody wrong it alone family.
So you're build a nation for true?
I build, Mr. Price tell me if I build my nation. So I build my nation.
I want to thank you so much for talking with me and for showing me around. Thank you so much, and I want to wish you and your family all the best, right?
Okay, thank you very much.
We will have the final segment of our look back at our 2012 visit to Hattieville Village on the occasion of the 50th anniversary celebrations. But first, a word from our partners, Ministry of Blue Economy, the Barry, and Minister Kevin Bernard.
You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation.
In Belize, the blue economy plays a crucial role in driving sustainable economic development and marine conservation.
The blue economy now looks at the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, to improve livelihoods, and to ensure that jobs are created while we ensure that the health of the ocean and the ocean ecosystem is preserved. How does this really differ from our traditional sectors is that the blue economy approach now integrates a multi-sectoral approach.
By incorporating climate change consideration into its strategies and working closely with coastal communities, the Blue Economy Unit aims to mitigate the effects of climate change on livelihoods and promote resilience.
Blue Economy Development Policy, Strategy and Implementation Plan, which was launched last year, and briefly touches on the need for targeted and innovative research that would inform the development of offshore renewable energy and other sectors, of course.
The blue economy contributes to achieving several SDGs in Belize, and it plays a key role in advancing these goals, such as SDG 14, which is life below water. It does this by promoting the sustainable use and conservation of marine resources. It also promotes SDG 1 and SDG 8 to reduce poverty and promote economic growth by creating employment opportunities and supporting livelihoods in coastal communities. It also contributes to SDG 5, which is gender equality, by promoting women's empowerment and inclusivity in coastal communities. It promotes SDG 16, which is peace and justice and strong institutions. The blue economy really promotes inclusive and participatory governance in coastal resource management. It encourages community involvement, engagement with local stakeholders, and the establishment of real, transparent, and accountable institutions, which leads to fostering strong governance.
Let Debari be your store of choice. When you're looking for the latest in electronics and accessories, be sure to visit us. At Debari, we have a wide assortment of household items to choose from. Dress in style. We have clothing for the entire family and so much more. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari. Buy more, pay less.
Progress blooms in every corner of Orange Walk East, where the dreams of our people are taking root and flourishing under the dedicated leadership of the Honorable Area Representative. Join us on a journey through the heart of development and community transformation. Imagine a place you can call home. Over 500 residential lots are currently being surveyed, paving the path for first-time landowners to build their futures in our thriving constituency. Connectivity is key to our growth. Witness the ongoing paving of the Chan Pine Ridge Road, a testament to our commitment to development and ease of access for all our residents. Soon, the journey on this road will be seamless. Anticipation is in the air for San Jose Palmar Village, as two main roads are set to transform into paved pathways, enhancing transportation and community life. Our dedication to improvement is unwavering, with continuous upgrades transforming our streets into modern avenues of pride for all our villages. The spirit of the East is invigorated with continuous sporting activities, fostering camaraderie and healthy lifestyles across our vibrant constituency. Accessibility to essential resources is a right, not a privilege. The new water tower in Tower Hill Village stands tall as a beacon of our commitment to this belief. Closer to home, essential services are now within reach, thanks to the Amnesty and Vital Statistics Clinic brought directly to the residents of the East. Community joy blossoms at the ongoing Ramon Cervantes Recreational Park project, where leisure and laughter unite us. Orange Walk East, under the stewardship of your Honorable Area Representative, is a constituency reborn. Together, we are building a legacy of prosperity, community, and hope. Join us as we continue to strive for excellence and bring dreams to life.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one.
Okay, Luis Isagire Jr., known as Hugh or Hudel. Yeah. Luis, thanks for taking me around Old Hattieville. What's left of Old Hattieville? Because not much left. I mean, none of the old long barracks are here except for the Golden Haven home.
Yes,
and that which I think maybe should be preserved now. More so should be preserved because it's the only structure left. And I guess the police barracks that fell off its posts is another one that should be. Yeah. Should be preserved because it's one of the old original buildings from Hattieville, over 50 years old.
Yeah.
But Luis, your connection with Hattieville, what's your connection with Hattieville?
Actually, I came here at age 4, and our families were among the first set of people that came here because my father was one of the contractors. He was a mason. Okay. Yeah, and he was very much involved, especially with the masonry part of the construction of Hattieville. Okay. So that's how we...
What are some of the stories you can recall that your father told you of the building of the...
In regards to Hattieville? Well, I don't know if he really gave much stories about it, but as far as I know, he was there in the work, and not much stories that I could recall.
You grew up here in Hattieville?
Yeah, actually...
You spent all your time here?
Yeah, basically all my life, yeah. Been to Belmopan and back, but the majority of the time I've been right here.
Okay, so what do you do in Hattieville? What?
Okay, presently I'm a school teacher.
Okay, so you teach.
Yeah, and I'm also the pastor of the Mennonite Church in Hattieville.
Yeah. Tell me about the Mennonite Church because I think that was established just after Hurricane Hattie, no?
Okay, you have a organization called the Amish Mennonite Aid, and shortly after the hurricane, they came in to assist.
They assisted big time. Right?
Yeah, and actually in the early '62, they began assistance to the community A good part of the construction work was done by the government, as far as I know, even though they were involved. This was basically a government
project.
Project. As a matter of fact, a few weeks before Mr. Price died, I went in to visit him, and we were discussing whole Hattieville. He was very excited about the idea that somebody would come back and talk about it, and obviously it was his idea, no?
His idea,
to have this. Yeah. He was explaining that some of the other people in the government wanted to restructure somewhere in the barrack area, and then he insisted that the people come out here, and so that's how the idea came about. But it was a government project. Yeah. Most of the buildings, all the buildings were blue and white, blue on the bottom, white on the top, and so it's obvious it was a PUP idea, no?
Yeah.
So, but that's what I basically remember. That buildings were 300 feet long. As a matter of fact, when I was in Standard 5, a group of us students were given a task to do a layout of Hattieville. At that time, it was still existing. And so about 8 of us fellows from this community, age 10, 11, came out, and we measured all these structures that were out here. And I vividly recall the buildings were 30 feet wide, 300 feet long, and they were divided right down the middle, and then there were 30 structures on each side, which gave 60 rooms
10 by...
on each building, 10 by 15.
Yeah, 10 by 15 rooms.
Yeah, that gave 60 rooms. On one side, it was numbered 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to 60, and the other side 1 to 59. Larger families got 2 rooms, which would give you like maybe a 15 by 10, where if you got it lengthway, maybe a 15 by 20, or if you got it crossway, you got a 30 by 10. And that was for larger families. So that's had one beaver board wall in the middle, and on the top it wasn't sealed. So I guess people had to seal up their own top if they didn't want other people to climb up, which people actually did. You could climb up and look over into other people's home. Yeah, if you didn't seal up the top yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
but these were built mainly as temporary shelters for people who were
actually people lived in there for many years because...
but they were meant to be temporary from what I understand, right?
That idea of temporary was very much extended because our family actually moved out here in 74.
Yeah.
And so 12 years...
still living in them 12 years
yeah,
later,
we weren't very late in coming out to the new Hattieville. So people were still living in these buildings, some of these buildings, after we moved in 1974. So it was over 12 years. So
the temporary became permanent.
Almost, yeah. Almost permanent, yeah.
Yeah, but and the seed planted has stayed and grown, because Hattieville, we just passed through the road and through Hattieville, but we don't know if it extends all the way off the main highway, right?
Yeah. Actually, these buildings, like I said, were 300 feet that way, and on the end of those buildings there were some restrooms. And then earlier years there was a football field behind that yet. So Hattieville actually was quite a distance back in.
No, the new Hattieville, referred to as the new Hattieville, was built across the Hector Creek, right?
Yeah, that's on the other side of the
bridge.
bridge.
And I think, well, my logic would tell me, listening to the conversations we have had so far on this, that people started to get properties over there, measured out properties and surveyed properties, and so they moved out of the Lang Barracks one by one.
Yeah.
And started to live on that side, and the Lang Barracks eventually ended up crumbling. Would that be a true statement?
Actually, most of those barracks were taken down piece by piece. As a matter of fact, some people were privileged when some of those barracks were taken down. Some homes were built.
Out of the barracks material?
Over there, some homes were built out of some of the barrack material. So people actually benefited from that, and they built homes over that side.
So basically then you would say that the transition of Hattie will be Hurricane Hattie, workers are brought here for safety or in an area where they can be okay and work from. Then the area over the bridge is surveyed. They are given out portions, and then they dismantle the barracks one by one as the people start moving in that direction. Would that be a fair way?
Yeah, it's kind of almost in that fashion. Actually, there were some people who moved out before the barracks began to take down, and they built their own structure. But in the time when the barracks were being taken down, people were privileged to get materials, and some people used a part of that for their structures.
For the structures.
Yeah.
Now, this area we are standing now, you're telling me the barracks were along here because the highway would run that side somewhere in the distance over
the
there.
The barrack actually ran towards the back of the village. And there were, like, on this side, you had like A to H, so there were like 8 barracks on this side. And between each of them, there were, and also restrooms, just like we saw there, structured very much like that. But the restrooms were a little bit longer. There were like at least 6 of those structure.
Six bathrooms.
Yeah.
6 toilets, basically.
6 toilets, like on one side and 6 shower on the other side. And there were like about 3 of them. Then there were like some outdoor kitchens where there were fire hearths. And you had about 3 of these also placed between the buildings where people could use it for their cooking purposes. So, yeah.
You have seen Hattieville grow over the years.
Yes.
Right, from this temporary settlement into a permanent village in the country, and a village that is still growing. Because I get the impression when they pass through here, you see something happening that the village is still growing. How do you feel now, looking back 50 years and from today?
Yeah, Hattieville has gone through quite a bit of changes. I guess the lifestyle as a result of the way it was structured compared to how it is, I think it has the community has grown a bit. People have become much more independent. Like for instance, back then, quite a number of people were dependent on the government issues. There were the kitchen. It was located between the B and C building, and people would go there for their food in the morning.
The government would supply the food?
Yeah, basically that's how I believe it was provided by the government. 3 meals for the day. And quite a number of people just kind of benefited from that for quite some time. And
workers and refugee camp.
Yeah, quite a people benefited from that. And the Mennonite also, they did quite a bit of handout on a regular basis. And so people were, I would say, had things fairly comfortable even in their bad times, because things were fairly well provided for them in that time.
And the road wasn't what we know it today. I mean, today we drive on a paved road, but I can still vaguely remember too when it was almost an ordeal to get here, because it was a single lane gravel road, that took you anywhere out of Belize City.
Yeah, it was a single lane.
And you had to pass vehicles past each other and passing bays.
Yeah, and you also had the problem of water rising at times, especially in the 10 mile, the 6 mile, the 10 mile, and the 12 mile area. There would be, like, in a very heavy rainy time, you had difficulties passing through water almost to your waist, and so going down. But I guess all that.
You remember some of the challenges moving from Hattieville back to Belize City in floods and.
In our time of going to school, we had times when the trucks would have to take the travel. Basically, we traveled to and from school in government trucks when they were available to us. And there were difficult times in traveling in those rainy weather season. As a matter of fact, there were times when certain vehicle could not get across, and then you would have to stop on this side. There were vehicles waiting on the other side. You go across in the water, they pick you up and they take you over.
Hattieville is located, and where we are standing really is the first piece of high ground between the coastline and here, right? From what I understand, is that so?
Well, I wouldn't be quite sure, but I guess it was high enough grounds.
High enough, because Belize City had a 15-foot tide.
Yeah.
If the tide was 15, if the water rose 15 feet, I think Hattieville might be more than 15 feet above sea level.
More than likely. Well, the village wasn't here before the hurricane, so
nothing was here. There was a piece of high ground.
Obviously, this was high enough. Why maybe it was chosen as a location for the construction. Yeah.
And the thing is, it stayed.
Yeah.
All right. So this could have been one of the structures too, right? So the cement here could have been one of the structures too. What have been here?
This would have been one of the
What, churches or?
one of the small.
Look, I think he tie up. I say, I have a kicking. So this
would be probably somewhere between the B and C building.
B and C, no?
Yeah.
So around B and C building.
Yeah, so somewhere along here, this more than likely would have been the old kitchen where the food was being prepared. And so one building was over there, one building was over there.
See, it's another structure thing in the bush there too.
Okay, we used to live on the C building area.
So the C building would be in the bush behind it?
Yeah. See here is one of the toilets.
This is an old toilet,
Yeah, this was one of the original toilets.
Let's see, right here, I have to go.
Alright.
So this
is one
of the original toilets right there?
This is one of the original toilets.
So
then that would not have been the kitchen because the kitchen was not lined up.
Was not lined up with the toilet, no?
Yeah, so this would have been what we would call Mr. Poe's shop and bar.
Okay. It's like an L shape, no?
Yeah, so this was
like
Mr. Poe's.
like a little L here, it's not like an L.
So the other building would be on that side, and so the kitchen would be somewhere between that other building.
Okay. Wow.
We had free water.
Free water. So water wasn't a problem?
After a while, no. It wasn't a problem. We could go in those showers and children would be running those waters for hours and hours. We bathe all day if we want. So
and the water was from Hector Creek, right? They used to take it out of Hector Creek.
I believe, yeah, from the creek.
From the creek
Yeah,
itself.
yeah, and it was fairly good drinking water likewise.
Okay, and then we head back to the road now.
Here was police station.
So the old police station have been there?
Somewhere, yeah, in the middle right
in the middle here, because this is the old road, right?
Yeah, and that's the old Boom Road. That's the Boom Road there.
The Boom Road goes there.
Yeah, and so the police station was here. And right over there was where the schoolhouse was. That was the that was the I building. Yeah, that was
the churches.
Yeah, that's the Adventist church, and the I building was the schoolhouse. That was almost the same length like these. It was the same length like these buildings, but it was divided into two. On the front side here, you had Mark's Anglican School on the first half, and on the other half of the building was the St. Jude's Catholic School. So there were basically two schools up here in the early stages, Anglican and a Catholic school.
But this piece of road here,
this actually was the
old road, right? This is the old road here.
Yeah, this was the old Western Highway.
Old Western Highway. This is the old Western Highway running right here.
Yeah.
So the police station have been right opposite the
across
highway, across on the highway.
Yeah.
So this is, so I'm really I'm standing right now in the middle of what was the old Western Highway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a difference. So they have come straight and go that side. And then all this was sort of, okay. Interesting. See another, that looks like a more, that more later structure, right?
Going down
that would be the Boom Road there.
Yeah, was where you had the Wesley Church was in that direction, and also there were three large buildings where the policemen used to live. And that was about the end of Hattieville on this way, where the policemen used to live. The cemetery is on the other side.
And then, of course, the hospital.
Hospital there, and over there was the location of the Mennonite headquarters. That little building is still a part of the structure down there.
So that little building right in there.
Yeah, that little building over there. And there was a large house somewhere through there. Large house was somewhere there, and that was there since the 60s.
Okay.
So, yeah. All those trees were in the Mennonite yard. Those tall palms.
Yeah. Very good. See my vehicle passing. So, policeman thing on the right or so?
Yeah,
well, right here in the middle, the policeman building would have been.
And like further up, like I said, you had B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
And right along here.
Yeah. And when you are going back out, you'll still see the structure of one of the first churches, which was the Eternal Faith Church. It's like the last old building towards the end. Yeah, so you could get a snap of that on your way out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was more or less
all Hattieville.
Yeah.
The heart, the foundation of Hattieville.
Yeah.
They have to come and do a show now on the new Hattieville after this. And so this gives you an idea of how narrow the road was, right?
Yeah, it wasn't much of a... Yeah, it was fairly narrow.
So now the old highway used to be?
Vehicle was kind of like...
Yeah, we are coming
go on the side.
On the side, yeah.
Yeah. Almost like that one.
It was a single lane, right? You had passing bays.
Yeah.
So if you don't meet a vehicle at passing bay, you're in trouble.
You have to stay behind. Has more people.
So you had more people living back then, here back then. Because you're telling me the population was at about 4,000. And now it's about 3.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people migrated from here to the US as well.
Yeah, you have a lot of people from Hattieville, not only to the US, but also to other locations. Likewise, but a number moved out to the US too.
Yeah.
Sure. The building was being taken down.
So the last building on this side was here?
H. Yeah, it was H building.
Well,
I recall as a young man, when they were breaking down the buildings, they had warned people that they should start moving. And after a while, when they broke down this building, there was one of the residents who had built a house inside of his house.
Oh, yeah?
And so when the building was taken down, his house was standing there, smaller than
the building itself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you this evening?
Yeah, we want to know what happened.
No, we're not doing nothing yet.
No, can't.
Okay.
300 feet long.
Okay, so this is the remains
of one of the floors.
This is one of the floors here. The remains of one of the floors of the old Lang Barracks building.
Yeah. And you could probably almost see the measurement.
Yes, that's where you are now, basically.
Yeah, but I mean like the width.
The width.
One of the rooms.
Okay. So a room would be?
Somewhere from here to a little bit further.
To about here? Well, here. So this would be a room, yeah, because there's a mark here. P building?
Yes.
Which one of the P building?
You can go right through this here and you'll find my yard.
But
and you're going to want front of me and I don't want cement.
You ask cement front of you, they want cement.
Sure.
Sure.
This is one of the long barks me there. The whole tile it in there.
Okay.
The whole cement goes straight over there. That's where the whole Hattieville me there.
Somerville. You know, Miss what Somerville?
Idol Somerville.
Idol Somerville. Nice meeting you, Miss Idol Somerville.
This is my mother.
Hi, how are you? And Miss Rose, how are you?
Well, can't complain, sir.
You work hard now?
Yeah.
They clean up well for yonder.
Then in front
of my gate. Where you clean up?
In front of my gate, come was next cement from the whole Hattieville too.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my
land. So all this whole Hattieville barracks, right? And how long you get this land? The government go?
George Price give me this.
Oh, George Price give this piece of land. Okay.
George Price give me this piece of land. I gone and see the man, and the man give me double land. He said, Miss Somerville, for honesty, double land. I tell her, I have 10 children. At the time I had children, and I tell her, well, you know, black people now want nothing I believe, so I give me to clean this land, and I ask her for it. He said, look at me and said, tell the truth, so for your honesty, I give you a double land, so I have this and way up to the street yard.
So you happy?
I am very proud and happy, yes. Because I get somewhere where part of band. I never go here, but my married this so have me over a poor house in the early 60s. I
What do you call the poor house? The highway should be the hospital, right?
Yes. I was born over there.
So you were born in the hospital here in
Hattieville, but just that we never go here. My mom only live here for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right here my mom was.
On the same spot?
This same spot my mom was, yeah.
And then she came back to live here?
Yes, now she came back. She can't live with me.
Okay, I could talk to your mom.
You could talk to her. She 83.
Hello, mom. How old are you?
82, sir.
82, 83?
82 in 83.
All right. How you came to Hattieville after?
Oh, it's so long that I don't even remember.
You don't remember? You may got to Hurricane Hattie, though?
Huh?
You may got to Hurricane Hattie?
Yes, sir.
When Hurricane Hattie hit, where you there?
Well, if I tell you, I dey run all about to see which part I could go for the safety. But God help me, I make it. Because right now, I 83. Next year, the 10th August, if I live, I'm 84.
Okay, you remember anything about Hattie?
Remember for two, sir.
Where Ghana? Tell me how you spend Hattie, man.
Well, how I spend Hattie? We gone to one house. And when we was at that house, that's where I stay. Me and my daughter and my next son. But he never too nice. They don't ever fly off, but water nearly to my neck.
Wow.
Deep water in the house, sir.
And a lot of people in the house with you, or you want?
No, it wasn't I alone.
How the family fare off, your family?
Well, they can't complain because we are alive.
All of them are safe, no? In Hattie?
Yeah, all of we are alive.
How long you say they are Hattieville now? Because you born in the hospital over there?
I born here, but my daddy when they run like post.
Oh, your father was a worker?
My mother with her, and so I born here.
Oh,
we never live here, but I live here 27 years.
Wow, so you there 27 years?
I live here 27 years, and my mama was there. My mama can't live with me about around 98, so.
Oh, okay. So you are the Hattivillian?
I are the Hattivillian, and she are the Korean.
You want a house now?
Yes.
Oh,
please give me one. No mind if you size other lead for a cook there. I no mind.
She don't mind, she just want a house, huh?
I want somewhere to live, man.
You don't want to live with the daughter, no more?
Oh, I love my daughter. But you want thing better than somebody.
Okay.
Well, when I get this land for all the years, I find this here. This plum tree, but hurricane, Richard knocked down the mango tree. Okay. That's how I find that this yard and this whole yard I'm alone for when I get this thing. Okay. Lone lot of super tree, but
you fix it up now?
I clean it, yes, sir. I clean it. We got some more cleaning for do every day of work, but
so you go now?
It'd be better if over them clean up for their spot.
We're probably historic spot for the village, man.
Yes, and to take a barn right here.
And so the toilet and then one toilet there. But all this place me clean in the days.
Yes, so when I get this time of the jungle.
You don't grow up afterwards, right?
No, this was the jungle. Everybody throw garbage here.
Oh.
So when I get this time, move whole pan, whole pot, whole land, whole bucket, all kind of thing. I back 50 yard, 60 yard bucket of dirt a day and clean this. Me and my son, I had one son. And then my son cleaned this to how it look today.
I know like home sweet home.
Home sweet home, and when more develop it, make it look much better.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I would hope that they don't destroy this really because this is the old Hector Creek Bridge.
Yeah.
And it gives you an idea of the width of the road, the single lane bridge. Right? But it still looks in pretty good shape to me.
Yeah.
Right? So you said that as a boy you used to swim here?
We used to swim on either side and also down
on
either side of the bridge, and there was an area cleared out down there where we used to go in and swim. And also we do quite a bit of fishing here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
People still fishing here, especially when high tide. I think a lot of fish come in.
Back then when water was high, you'd have like black snapper, saltwater snook. Yeah, different type of fishes coming up apart from the regular freshwater fish you could catch in the high water time.
And this bridge, this Hector Creek actually runs all the way to the Saboon River.
Yeah, this goes all the way. Yeah, it links up.
But where is its source? Where's the source of the creek?
I am not quite sure, but it has a beginning somewhere further up on the western. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it links the Belize River with the Saboon, because that's quite possible.
That's a possibility. But as far as
that side,
the farthest I would know is that we can, up this creek here, we can go as far as mile 18. and you'll still be on this creek.
On this creek? Up to mile 18?
Up to mile 18.
Mile 18.
Yeah, that way.
2 miles that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not where it actually began. That's not the beginning of it, no? So, yeah.
This water pipe here is pretty much new.
Recent,
That's more recent, yeah. This is recent.
Yeah, after when they put in the new water system.
Yeah, this is very recent. We use the bridge for support.
Crocodiles in here.
You have crocs in here?
Yeah, you have crocs in here. Yeah, I have seen several and fairly large ones too. Yeah, just in the summer when my nephew and I came to do a little fishing here, we were standing right down on the side there, and the croc, he saw it, I didn't see it first, and then he said, "Look, man, a big crocodile there, uncle." So I told him, "Let's go, we won't hang around here, because we weren't sure if he would be vicious or not, no?" And so we just moved out, but it has big crocs in here.
So no swimming again.
Yeah, no swimming again.
Yeah. All right.
This has been Belize Watch Revisited. Thanks for listening.
Celebration, not